Oh, what time is it?
10:05. Where you going?
Blue.
Oh, sorry, mate. Okay. Right. I think you're in a muddle, Mr. Muddle. It can't be Christmas because I'm off on my summer holiday. Said Mr. Wrong. Of course. Brilliant. What is he like, eh, that Mr. Wrong? Always getting it wrong, isn't he? Well, that's it, mate. It's the last one now. We've done all the Thomases. We've done all the Misters. The little Mrs. And it's a lot. Actually, you know what? No, because there must be more. So... And there's flipping loads. Okay, so the writer of the Mr. Men, when he died, his son took over, wrote Little Miss Chatterbox. So we'll let Emma do that one. And then, oh, this is interesting. The Mr. Men were invented when Roger Hargreaves' son asked his dad what a tickle looks like, so he drew Mr. Tickle. I'll order these for next day delivery, even though we're in the morning and it's tomorrow. Well, yes. Yeah, so it's like tomorrow, so it'll be like the day after. Like the day after. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? Because we've got time. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? Here we go. Ready? Mr. Tickle. It was a warm, sunny morning. In his small house at the other side of the wood, Mr. Tickle was asleep.
Hiya.
Hi. Leanne said that I could sit in with Oliver while you go to court.
Well, Toy's on the way.
Yeah, I know, but I've not been for a while, and I just don't really fancy going to work today, if I'm honest.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, more the merrier. Lee. Toy's running late, but Sarah's here. So, do you want to get going?
Yeah, okay.
I'll see if the car's here.
I'll be right back. Auntie Toya and Auntie Sarah are going to look after you, okay? Love you.
Thank you for letting me come. I know things with you and Mick.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, of course.
But it's good that you're here. He needs his family around him, so thank you.
All I'm saying is that I feel bad.
Right, okay, you feel bad. Now you told me I feel bad. Thanks for that. Really needed it today.
I'm sorry.
Steve, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to apologise to him and for fighting for Oliver?
No, of course not.
Look, you know how this works. We blame the hospital, they blame underfunding. Just don't have a go at me today, all right?
Right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
I know you said I should stay away.
To be honest with you, Nick, I couldn't give a monkey's whether you're here or not.
No, she doesn't mean that.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Of course you should be here. Here is Dad too.
Sorry I'm late. Stupid driver went the wrong way.
It's fine. We've got plenty of time.
Whatever happens, you two did the best you could. You couldn't have done any more.
Thanks, mate. Okay.
Today's proceedings pertain to a 3-year-old child by the name of Oliver Battersby, in respect of whom Weatherfield Trust have applied for a declaration that it is no longer in his best interest to receive mechanical ventilation. Oliver is represented in these proceedings by his court-appointed guardian, who has indicated through her barrister that she supports the Trust's application. The parents of Oliver, Leanne Battersby and Stephen MacDonald, both oppose this application. Several attempts have been made to resolve this dispute, but no, for the first 3 years of his life, Oliver has been happily co-parented by Leanne and her partner Nick, and his father Stephen MacDonald and his wife Tracy. The court-appointed guardian commented on the clear affection shown towards Oliver by Nick and Tracy, as well as Stephen and Leanne, and particularly noted the closeness and loving support offered by Oliver's immediate and extended family. Oliver first began exhibiting symptoms of mitochondrial disease in April of this year. He suffered a seizure at his father's home. And on the advice of the general practitioner, Dr. Susan pressed as to the further possible causes of the symptoms, Dr. Ward mentioned mitochondrial disease, and Stephen and Leanne, again understandably, took it on themselves to carry out their own independent presumptive evidence of Oliver's apparent reaction to sound and the finger twitch recorded by Leanne. The evidence offered by the Trust suggests movements were involuntary. Likewise, both Dr. Howarth and Dr. Schmitz have independently supported the Trust's application that such movements are not uncommon in patients with neurodegenerative disease and should not, in this case, be confused with an indicator of consciousness.
Till it's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune?
Oliver is unable to swallow
Oh, so still.
and is entirely fed by nasogastric tube.
Are they ill? Wake up, Bunny.
He is wholly dependent on mechanical ventilator support. Oliver's body will continue to grow due to the nutrients supplied in his nasogastric tube. His body is currently growing and aging, but the brain cannot regenerate. Oliver's brain is dying, and only mechanical ventilation and adjunctive therapies will keep his body alive in the long term. There is no prospect of recovery. There is no cure, no so-called silver bullet for his condition, and neither is there likely to be one in the foreseeable future. Oliver is suffering from relentless seizures, against which he is heavily sedated and medicated. If he were weaned off these medications and sedations, the seizures it is not possible to say with any certainty whether or not Oliver is experiencing pain or discomfort. However, assuming that he does continue to feel some level of discomfort, then the continued seizure activity and medical interventions whilst on ventilation would be expected to cause him considerable suffering. It was entirely right that every avenue of treatment for Oliver was explored, and every decision on his future questioned and re-examined. I am confident this has occurred and has proven beyond doubt that any hope for any recovery is futile. Therefore, I am now convinced that continuing with assisted ventilation is no longer in Oliver's best interest. There will need to be discussion between the hospital and the parents to try and agree how and when the withdrawal of treatment will take place. What Oliver needs now is his loving family around him as his life comes to a dignified end. You will all be very much in our thoughts.
No! No, please, please, please don't do this. Please, no, no.